You guys asked for it, so I'm giving you a part 2 today to how to make Halloween cake pops. Now, I walked you through the whole process to roll the cake balls in my last tutorial more in depth, but I'm just going to run through this pretty quickly. You're just going to bake a cake. You can do it homemade. I do boxed. Allow your cake to completely cool. I like to cut mine open to make that go a little bit quicker, and then you're going to grab a bowl and crumble the cake, and all you got to do is just rub it against itself, basically like sanding it down. Once that is all crumbled up, you can use homemade frosting. I like to use this Duncan Hines cream cheese. It just makes it not too sweet. I went ahead and added about half of the frosting this time. Last time I used a quarter because the chocolate doesn't need that much frosting. It's moist as is. You definitely don't have to, but I went ahead and added some festive sprinkles and just mix that all together. Now all you gotta do is just scoop those and roll those down into balls. Because we are going to make some candy corn cake pops, you want to mold some of them down into a triangle, so obviously it mimics the shape of a candy corn. You want to obviously melt down some chocolate, some candy melks that you can pick up from Michael's, and then some cake sticks, and you're just going to dip the tip into the melted chocolate, and then you're going to place that into the cake ball because you're basically gluing the stick to the ball. While we pop those in the fridge to cool, a little tip is I use Florifoam as my base when I want to make the cake pops like stand up straight versus upside down, obviously. First up, we're going to make Jack Skellington, so you need some Florifoam that you can stick the cake pops into, obviously the cake pops, a Ziploc bag for a little trick I'll show you later, toothpicks, black chocolate, and white chocolate. So you want to cover the entire cake ball, obviously, and I just use a spoon to scoop that up top, and then I tap my wrist until all the excess chocolate is off. And then instead of placing it back on the foil, that's when the Florifoam comes as your stand. You just stab that right into it so they can dry. You need to let these dry completely before we add the face. To make life easier, I'm going to pipe the faces on, so I just put a Ziploc baggie around a cup and filled it with the black chocolate and snipped the tip. I just pulled up a photo for reference while I was doing this, and the first time that I tried to make his face with the 2 dots and a toothpick for his nose, and then I just made that smile, it looked like a dinosaur, and I was really discouraged, but I gave it another go, and it definitely turned out better like the 3rd time I did it. I found it was best if I piped everything on but the stitches of the mouth, and with that, you just use your toothpick to pull the chocolate and make a line. After I got my hand to be a little bit steady, they ended up turning out really cute, and I also printed out his bow tie just on a piece of computer paper and cut it out and then dabbed a little hot glue and added it, and I really love the extra detail. For these monster cake pops, I just have some green chocolate, some green Jimmy sprinkles, and then eyeballs. You want to go ahead and cover the cake ball entirely, and while it is still wet, you want to press an eyeball into the center of him, and then you're going to dip him upside down into the sprinkles to kind of create hair. We are going to dip our candy corn in 3 stages. So the first obviously being the orange at the base, and you just want to tap your wrist, make sure that's as flat as possible and let it cool. Repeat that same little situation with the yellow for the middle, and then at the very top you can just dip it into the white chocolate. And because you know the basics for making a cake pop, if you just want to make some sprinkled ones, you just dip it in your desired color and you shake some sprinkles on top of it and let them dry. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Halloween cake pop tutorial part 2. You guys really liked the first one, so I decided to do one more Halloween video before we say bye-bye and head into Thanksgiving and Christmas.